the mix here on Cable 8. Did everybody have a good spring break? Yeah? You guys actually remember any of it? No? It is WSU. Well, I was in Las Vegas for spring break, and I was there for 12 days. 12 days, which basically makes me legally dead. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Vegas, but I spent my vacation in 2 different parts. The first half I spent at a professional foosball tournament. And yes. So I'm happy there's an applause break for that. You definitely heard that right. I have a nerdy confession to make to you guys. I'm actually a professional foosball player. It's not a joke. I kind of wish it was. But both of my parents are professional foosball players. They actually met at a bar playing foosball in the 70s. So clearly I was conceived by some real winners. I'm basically the product of circus folk, and I brought a couple foosball artifacts if you all need some further proof. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is my official foosball membership card. It has my name, and at the top it says USTSF, which stands for United States Table Soccer Federation. Google it. This is a real gem. And this would be a trophy that my dad won in the 80s. It's literally a golden foosball man atop an empty Miller High Life can. Yeah, this trophy sums up my childhood. Just a lot of white trash. And then I ended up at WSU, which is just a larger collection of white trash. And finally, this is the World Table Soccer Almanac, which was written by my mother. Who knew? Yeah, this can actually be found in Barnes & Noble. But I don't need to tell any of you that, because I'm sure it's already sitting on your bookshelves at home, because this sold wildly. So yeah, that's my life. That was the first half of my spring break, and then for Las Vegas Part 2, my Horrier friends flew down to meet me for a typical drunken college spring break, you know? Yeah. And the highlight of that vacation was when I woke up after a morning of heavy partying, went to the pool, stripped down to my bikini, and noticed some white powdery substance crushed up on my stomach. And I scraped some off and smelled it, and lo and behold, it was Parmesan cheese. So evidently I had eaten some late night pizza like a wild animal, and in the process dumped about ½ an ounce of grated Parmesan down my shirt and then slept on it. And didn't know until I was standing in a public poolside vicinity with an exposed stomach that I had done that. And I think people might have expected something a little different if all of a sudden I was like, hey, who wants to do lines off my stomach? Party starts here. You know, and people start running at me and they're like, wait, is that Kraft? Yep, Parmesan cheese, cocaine joke. So it is interesting being in Vegas as a 21-year-old girl, though, because that basically means that Vegas is just a vast desert of roofies and rape. There are really no social standards or etiquette in Vegas. You know, like nothing's considered inappropriate. Like as a girl, you will walk through the casino at 10 in the morning, and without fail, a group of overweight 40-year-old men who are still drunk from the night before will like teeter-totter up to you and be like, hey lady, high five, nice, all right, would you care for my warm cup of Bud Light? I've been saving it just for you, you know? And I can see in these guys' glazed eyes that they think I might just go, me? Oh my God, I would be honored to have your Bud Light, thank you. Wow, is there any Roofalin in this? Oh, there is? Perfect. Okay, I'm totally on a budget this vacation, so drinking this will feel like 17 drinks, so thanks. All right, we've got an awesome show for you tonight. 2011's Miss Spokane, Janae Tucker, is here, so give it up for that. Yeah. We'll be talking to her a little later, and when we come back, we'll be discussing everything from the NIT tournament to Rebecca Black's horrifying song Friday with our panel. So stick around, we'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. We're here to discuss some entertainment news with our lovely panel. We've got Harrison Polo, give it up. Woo. And Christina Jones. And last but certainly not least, Adam Lowy. So to kick things off tonight, we got a lot of basketball going on right now. We got NCAA March Madness and the NIT for us Cougs who can't quite make it to the championship bracket.
Hey, we're in the Final Four. For
right.
The,
That's
NIT,
true. Winner of the losers.
Yeah.
I thought it was the knit until you just said that, actually.
No. You've been calling it the knit tournament, Christina?
Yeah, no one's corrected me so far.
Wait, what do you actually think it means then?
I don't really know, I guess. National International Tournament.
Well, it actually stands for not in the tournament. I mean,
which we definitely aren't. Yes, the National Invitation Tournament. It's interesting that UW, made it into the NCAA, and it's like, okay, so we've gotten 3 charges of weed, and they've gotten 1 of rape, but they made it into the tournament. So it's like, I don't know if they won in the end over us or not. What's more potent, rape in NCAA, 3 weed, NIT? What do you guys think?
That's a tough one.
I don't know.
I would say we still won just because we're better.
Yeah, I kind of like the 3 weed.
We got 2 out of 3.
Like
we got 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
That's 66%, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. I'm not a math student, sorry.
Are you guys polling for any team specifically in the Final Four? We've got Butler versus VCU and UConn versus Kentucky.
VCU.
VCU?
Kentucky.
Cinderella story? Going for the underdog? I think I'm kind of going for the underdog too.
I want to see UConn. I really like Kemba Walker from UConn.
Yeah.
I want to see UConn win it all.
Yeah.
So.
I just heard that was supposed to go for Kentucky. I don't really know. I don't pay attention to this kind of stuff.
Actually, I kind of want Butler because their coach looks like Harry Potter, and so I feel like I'm cheering on Hogwarts in a sense, and I like that.
Gryffindor.
Yeah. So on to our next topic. Chris Brown was just on Good Morning America and had quite the display. Number one, he looked like Cisco. He has dyed his hair. He has bleached his hair, which I don't feel is a very good look. Cisco's not one to emulate. Thong Song was a one-hit wonder. I don't know that he'd want to follow in his footsteps in any way.
Well, my thing with this is he took his shirt off, which, I'd be full supportive if you're very muscular in that area, but his strong suit is his lower half, so maybe he should have just ripped his pants off and just ran around and be like, well, you know what, I got this to work with, so
Well, yeah, that was the thing, is he got so upset over the interview that was conducted because the woman kept bringing up,
He kept trying to go back to the album.
Right,
yeah.
And the woman kept bringing up him beating Rihanna a couple years ago, and so he did the performance, stormed off stage, went back to his dressing room, smashed a window, and then took his shirt off and walked out of the building. And I'm like, who takes their shirt off when they're angry? That never has come to mind to me when I'm angry. It's like, so mad I just need to rip this shirt off. I can't have it on me anymore. It's just the weirdest thing I thought.
Maybe he felt like it was a real masculine thing to do. I don't know.
Like a Hulk move, just like,
yeah,
I've
never done anything like that.
Right.
See, but one thing with that is that he didn't actually really break the glass with when he threw the chair against it. He kind of shattered it.
Yeah.
So I feel like he kind of ruined his manhood there too. It's like you can't really break a window.
Right.
It's a pretty easy thing to do.
So what was the second best thing? He's like, I'm just taking my shirt off. Then.
Yeah.
I can't break a window, so I'm gonna break my shirt off.
Okay.
At the same time, what do they think he's going to be asked of? Of course he's going to get asked about the Rihanna situation. I mean, that's just a common.
No, but I think he was upset because she kept coming back to it. He's like, okay, it's been a while. I think I was like, I'm past that. Let's focus on the album. Hey, everyone, guess what? I have an album. Then she'd ask him again. He's like, we should be talking about the album, which is called, ironically, Forgiving All My Enemies. Right?
Yeah. I wonder if he forgave Robin Roberts for that.
I don't think so. I think she's like a fresh enemy.
Fresh enemy.
Fresh enemy.
She's going to be on my new album.
Can never
Hating
have
all
enough.
my enemies.
You can never have enough enemies if you're Chris Brown, I guess.
Yeah, seriously. So, as we know, huge earthquake, tsunami disaster in Japan, and some celebrities have recently gotten in trouble for making jokes about the situation. Probably the most notable is Gilbert Gottfried, who got fired as the voice of the Aflac duck because he tweeted, and I quote, "Japan is really advanced. They don't go to the beach comes to them."
I can just picture him saying that with his voice, that crazy voice he does.
Yeah. Pretty intense. And then the UCLA girl. You watched that.
I heard when I first watched that, I was like, "Is this real?"
Right.
I couldn't she's in the library, and I guess she was around other Asian guys, and like I guess they were like making phone calls, and she's like blowing up about how they're like how they should go back to Japan and like how they need to do that outside. Like, gosh.
What bothered me about her was she faces the camera, super blonde, super tan, and now I'm stereotyping, so I'm like in her level, whatever, she deserves it.
And she tan? Never mind.
That's besides the point. So she tans and everything, and she has her boobs in the camera, and she's like, yeah, and I was typing a paper, and just when I was about to have an epiphany, putting the boobs even closer to the camera, I hear this guy over here saying, ching ching chong, like da da da, and it's just like, you know you weren't about to have an epiphany, you know you're just uploading new Facebook photos from Saturday night. Like, you got nothing, like, in all honesty, and I mean...
She goes to UCLA, I mean, it's...
Yeah, I mean, but you can't hate on UCLA, I mean, it stands for you see a lot of Asians.
Wow.
It's true.
You just gotta deal with it.
All right, moving on. So teen mom Janelle Evans is facing charges. She was in Teen Mom 2. There's a video that surfaced of her just beating the living crap out of another girl. Very like podunk situation, just two girls going at it. But I watched the video, and before I watched the video, I heard that this girl who got totally annihilated by her wasn't going to press charges, and I was like, what? Who wouldn't press charges on this chick? And I watched the video and watched her like smash in her face. I was like, oh, that's why. Like, you just don't want to keep pissing this girl off. But I had like almost nightmares about seeing that video. She is crazy. Look at her. Jesus.
She doesn't look that angry there, actually.
She hasn't showered in years.
She looks kind of depressed. I don't know.
She's depressed that she got caught. She was practicing it as an MMA fighter right there.
That show kind of reminds me of the Maury Show in a way. Like, they have like all of a sudden like the guy will come into like the relationship or whatever, and then there'll just be all this arguing like one on one, and like it's like, okay, are you? I guess you're the father. Are you not? Like, I don't know.
See, that's why it kind of ticks me off. I don't watch this show very often. I maybe catch an episode here or there, but I feel like there should be more focus. There should be another show, maybe on MTV2 or something that's focusing on the guys.
Yeah.
And it could be called like. It could be like, what is it, 16-year-old? It's like, oh, my girlfriend's pregnant kind of show. Because I think that'd be really interesting to see the guy's point of view from this, because they're stuck with this whole situation too, you know?
Right. And the thing that's scary is that, you know, she's known for being on Teen Mom, so it's like her role as a celebrity is mother, and the videos that are surfacing of her just like beating the out of someone, and it's like, how is she allowed to care for, I mean, she looks like she just spent a week in a gas station bathroom. Like, it's terrifying. How does she have time to keep up with a kid? I don't know.
See, well, with Teen Mom 2, if you watch the show like I do, because I always stay up on my MTV.
Right, because you have a lot of priorities in life.
Yes, I do. So my thing is, she actually doesn't even take care of her child. Her mom does.
Oh, okay.
Poor baby Jace. Poor baby Jace. But she's basically if anyone has seen Teen Mom, like the original, there was Amber, and Amber was pretty trashy herself. She used to beat up her boyfriend Gary all the time. I'm on first name basis, by the way.
That's evident.
And so I feel like she's taking it to a whole new level. Like, she like looked at Amber and she's like, yeah, she hit Gary, but watch, I'm gonna beat this over here.
Yeah, it was intense.
So I feel like Janelle is just like the trashier version of Amber. And she's just trying to take over the role and everything, and maybe they'll become best friends in jail later on. But
I could see that.
It's just not a good situation.
And lastly, this girl is just huge right now. Rebecca Black, her video.
My favorite.
Can we just get an applause break on the Rebecca Black Friday? Wow. I discovered the video when my roommate sent me a link on Facebook, and with the caption, "See how long into this you can watch it before you want to kill yourself." And I was like, oh, this will be good. And sure enough, I watched it, and there were so many things that I couldn't even comprehend. They were so bad, I was like a fembot. I was like a minute in, just like, I can't do this. Like, I can't watch all of this. And they did the interview with her on Good Morning America. Yeah. And the interviewer asks her, do you think you're talented? And she says, and I quote, I think I have talent on some level. It's like, oh, on some level. Oh, that's good. What level is that? Like the same as Paris Hilton? Or like the 2 guys in Black Eyed Peas that do nothing in that group? Like, is that the level? Because that's really what I want to be a part of, you know? And she says, I don't think I'm the worst singer, but I don't think I'm the best singer. Like, really, no you know? What an intelligent observation. You know, maybe you could have figured that out before you posted a video and made 60 million people want to rip their ears off.
When I first heard about it, like, I just had gotten a Twitter a few weeks ago. I just got a Twitter. And so like I didn't understand this kind of like earlier. I didn't understand this Rebecca Black thing. It got so big, so I'm like, what is this all about? And it's like all over Twitter on the trends, you know, Rebecca Black on like every single one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this all about? And like I YouTubed it finally, and it was the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard in my life. Like I cannot get like, ugh.
Yeah.
What doesn't make sense to me though is that people are going through like the comments. They're saying like she's a bad singer. Oh, she's this, that. There's 2 things that stood out the most to me in this video, and it's nothing like that she's a bad singer. It's one, she's 13 and she's getting into a car with supposedly a bunch of other 13-year-olds who obviously can't drive. That's my big thing. Second is, who's this random 40-year-old black guy that's going to come to the party later? I mean, you know.
That's a little creepy.
That's a little creepy on it,
yeah. See, my thing with that is, if they were 16-year-olds in the car, what is an 8th grader doing with high schoolers? Like, those were the that you knew in like that were like came up to the high school after school, and you're just like, you are not supposed to be here. Like, go back and go play with your Barbies and things like that. But what I thought was funny was she said to an interviewer, I've been through so much hate in my life. It doesn't bother me anymore. You know, it's not hating on you when people are saying, Rebecca, you really can't sing. Like, I'm sorry. That's called career advice. Maybe, like, you know, just like take it and run with it, and you know, go become whatever you want to become. But
well, the thing that's
beauty is not your career.
The thing that's getting such heavy criticism are the lyrics, and if you listen to them, one of her lines that she apparently thinks is really like clever and hip, because she says it a few times, is the whole, which seat can I take? You guys know that? It's like sitting in the front seat, sitting in the back seat. Which seat can I take? And it's like, well, Rebecca, you can take any seat so long as that car immediately drives into a river. Like, I don't care. Take that seat. I don't care. And then the rapper, you're so right. It's just some creepy 40-year-old-ish man that's rapping in the middle of it. And I wrote down one of his lines. It says, I'm driving, cruising in the fast lane, driving by, it's a school bus in front of me. And it's like, wait, if you're cruising the freeway and you're on your way to a party, I think you're lost. If you're in a residential area, there's a school bus in front of you, you're not going to the right party, man. Like, you should be going home anyway.
See, or maybe he is going to the right party. I mean, he is 40 years old hanging out with a 13-year-old.
That's a good point. I don't really want to go down that road, Christina, but I think you could be right.
Also, like, I feel like it's such a bad influence. I mean, she's skipping school and making this song. I mean, like, she's
skipping school and making this song.
She's only 13.
I feel bad for the bus driver.
See, I heard that the song was actually made on a Monday.
She's a liar.
Well,
so not only is she a bad influence, not only is she is a liar.
Yeah.
She's all 3.
Yeah. I think my favorite lyric of the whole thing is, yesterday was Thursday, today it is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday, and Sunday comes afterwards. It's just like brilliant, brilliant.
It's almost like another weekday song.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like.
Yeah. So anyway, that's been our panel. I hope you guys enjoyed it. When we come back, we are going to be talking with 2011's Miss Spokane, Jenna Tucker. So stay tuned. We'll be talking with her later. We're back with our lovely guest for the evening. Please give it up for 2007. Oh my God, 2007? Jesus. 2011's Miss Spokane, Jenna Tucker.
I'm not a has-been. Don't knock me out yet.
I'm so sorry.
I just got this.
She just got this. I am not trying to introduce her as a has-been, as you said. I'm so sorry. So I hear, Jenna, that you have a catchy way of having people remember how to say your name because it's spelled kind of funny.
Yeah. My parents spelled my name with a G because they're crazy and have no concept of phonics.
Are they hippies?
They're not, actually. It was just some random girl that my mom had in one of her classes. They weren't even friends. It was more like they flipped open the yearbook and just pointed at a name. We're like, that one will work.
That's my child.
And so the way I help people remember it is it's like Jenny from Forrest Gump, the way Forrest Gump would say Jenny. So it's Jenny. The emphasis can calm down a little bit once you remember it, but Jenny
awesome.
works.
I love that. I mean, once I heard that, then I totally remembered. I'll never forget that.
Right.
So it works. So you did your first pageant when you were 13.
Yes.
And then you were crowned Miss Washington's Outstanding Teen just a few years later, and now, 2011, Miss Spokane.
Yes.
It's huge. So what is your next big goal in the world of pageantry?
Well, my next step is Miss Washington, which is going to be in July, and then hopefully, if all things go well there, cross your fingers, knock on wood, I'll be going to Miss America in January.
Wow.
So that's the goal.
And that happens that quickly, where it's just back to back.
Yeah, it's just one after the other.
Okay.
It's kind of craziness.
That's amazing.
It's weird that I'm actually in pageants though, because my best friend was in pageants and she just kind of was like, here, borrow my dresses and you should compete and you'll do fine. And then
now here you are,
I
crown on your
ended up
head.
winning, and it's just kind of the way it's worked since
You're
then.
a guest on Cable 8's The Mix, so you can pretty much retire.
I've made it big in the world now, so.
Being viewed by millions as we speak. What did you do when you heard your name called for Miss Spokane? Did you cry?
I did cry a little bit,
you
not
cried.
a lot. I had waterproof mascara on, so you couldn't really tell that I was crying. I also
that's the only indication is mascara smudge. You can't see actual tears really when people cry.
Right. When I get really excited, I open my mouth really wide, like I just make this like really awful shocked face, and I didn't get my hands to my mouth in time to like cover it up, so it just looks like I'm catching flies in like 5 photos because. You know, my mouth is like open as wide as possible. It's just really not flattering and not really a crowning moment photo as you would expect. But
who cares? You won. Doesn't matter. You can step on everyone else. It's fine. So I don't know if you're aware, but Spokane, where you won this title, it's the meth capital of the country.
I was aware of that.
So did anyone offer to buy you like a hit of battery acid in your post-victory celebration?
No. That definitely didn't happen.
I'm really surprised.
I was offered shoes and coffee and all kinds of sponsorships, but no battery acid.
No meth?
No meth.
That really surprises me. I'm from Spokane, and they're letting me down. That's really too bad.
It's not really representative of the Miss America organization. Is probably where that.
I guess that's a good excuse. What's the most annoying thing that people ask you when they find out that you're a pageant winner?
I actually get asked if I live in a castle a lot, which is really weird because I live in a residence hall room. You know, I'm an RA on campus. I live in a corner room of Stevenson South. It's pretty.
Oh, I can't believe
it's not a castle.
People ask you that. Okay, next question. So, do you live in a castle?
I do not live in a castle.
I've always wanted to ask a pageant winner this, but do you actually want world peace, or like more than anything, do you want world peace? Or if somebody told you that Brad Pitt would abandon Angelina and their 4,700 children to come live with you forever.
Is it up to 4,700 now?
I think it just hit 4,700.
Wow.
They just adopted all of Cambodia. So it's like, I think it just hit that mark.
It's a lot of mouths to feed.
I know. But do you honestly take world peace over Brad Pitt is what I'm asking you.
I would, you know, not to be the stereotypical pageant answer, but I probably would take world peace over Brad Pitt. Jake Gyllenhaal, I might have to think that over a little bit.
Wow, we see your true caliber. We see your true caliber of person now that it's Jake Gyllenhaal. She would sacrifice world peace, you guys.
But I've never actually answered a question with world peace on stage or in a private interview or anything. And I've never heard anyone answer it.
Yeah.
So that's just a miscongeniality stereotype.
I guess, goes to show you how much I know, which is not a lot about pageants. But anyway, thank you so much for doing an interview.
Thank you for having me.
Stick around, we're gonna do an etiquette contest, see which one of us is the most ladylike after the break. So stick around, we'll see. Yes, hello. So we are here. We are about to begin our etiquette competition to see who is the most ladylike. As you can see, I've equipped myself with a Parmesan cheese guard, so we don't have any more Vegas mishaps, and I won't leave here with half an ounce of Kraft in my belly button. Janae, you are going to go first, and you're going to take a bite of pizza in what you think is the most ladylike way possible in order to receive the highest score, because then our panel is going to judge each of us on who really deserves to be Miss Spokane, because I'm competing for this thing. I might snatch that crown.
Could I lose my crown for this?
You could lose your crown for this, Janae.
Pressure.
There's some Little Caesars on the line. This is intense. So, okay, go ahead. No pressure. Take Take your bite in what you think is a ladylike fashion, and you will be judged.
Okay, well, I already have my napkin on my lap.
Okay.
I didn't go for the.
I already think I'm ahead in points if you're putting your napkin on your lap.
The bib alternative.
Yes,
Sorry
I'm
about
wearing a
that.
bib.
It's kind of cold pizza, actually. It's a little bit difficult to cut.
Well, you know, it's Cable 8. This isn't NBC or anything.
Sorry, I'm used to higher quality pizza. I just can't handle this.
Wow. A little smack talking. Okay. She's gone for a predictable move as Miss Spokane, I would say. She has the napkin and lap. She used fork and knife to cut the pizza. Took a smallish bite, I'd say. How many chews do you think that's going to require?
Probably about 20.
Okay.
Max.
Okay. Have you swallowed yet?
Yes.
Insert BJ joke. Okay. Now, panel, how would you rate that in terms of classiness? How would you rate Janae? Wow. Wow. Well, looks like I've got my.
I feel like a gymnast. I've never been scored this
in this Olympic manner. Well, I guess the pressure's on. Those were higher than I expected.
I think
Janae.
you've got this though, because you're already equipped with your napkin. You're good to go.
Well, I hope you remember how that crown feels like, because you're only going to be wearing it about for another 30 seconds. So, as we've discussed, I've got. Oh, well, you know, I'm being told to wrap up, which means. Let's be honest, I wouldn't use a fork and knife. I would just dip and fold.
That's good. It's good. How many bites, how many chews do you think that's going to
I like to do origami with my pizza and then talk with my mouth full. So, panel, what do you think? Well, I think Harrison likes my bite maneuver an especially large amount. Anyway, that's been our show. I love wrapping it up with like 3,000 bites in my mouth. Thank you so much for watching The Mix here on Cable 8. It's been a blast. Thank you. Stay tuned for next time.